Hey everybody. So, yeah, I still have this problem. I thought I had fixed it yesterday, but basically
Right.
we get this issue and it just has sort of appeared. And what happens is when you click on this, see, now we have three of them. This bug gets thrown in. And my understanding, I wouldn't be surprised if this only shows up. See, it says Angular is running in development mode. That this may be something that only shows up in development mode, like in production when it's built out. You don't see this problem, or maybe not. I don't know. But I guess I didn't do my introduction. This I'm Marty, the JavaScript party, and this is my buddy Rhett. Rhett
Right.
sometimes adds value, and sometimes she doesn't. But she is sort of a family member, so she gets to be a pain in the butt. Uh, but anyways, so yeah, yesterday I got super frustrated by this bug, by this issue, this error. Uh, and I think it's because I have a bit of the PTSDs on this, where I've worked in places where just like there's something along these lines just starts presenting itself, and then trying to figure out how to fix it just it becomes an absolute nightmare. Um, Now, this situation specifically is pretty luxurious because, and the reason it is because this code isn't particularly complex. I've seen, and you see how now it's gone. Now I don't have a problem. Suddenly, it's fine. And then, like, if and well, so I, when I've seen these sorts of things in the past, many times it doesn't happen, doesn't present till after an integration. So you don't have this problem. Everybody's working on different teams, agile teams, and then suddenly, and you don't, nobody sees this problem, and then suddenly it's just in the console, and nobody knows how it got there. It's almost impossible to figure out what code you've had. There's been 100 commits since this, and now suddenly this is there, and you can't figure out which commit did it, and all that. So we know what change caused this problem. And then many times, particularly in military, and like if you're working on like secret stuff or things like that, you don't really get, you don't actually ever see the actual application that these things are running in. So it might be part of some portal or something like that, and so they may only have the problem in their portal environment, but they don't have the You don't have the problem here, and then they're talking about something like this. Maybe you get a screenshot that just says, "Hey, this happens sometimes. Figure it out," and you're just like, "What the hell? I cannot duplicate this problem." And when it comes to these 508 things, there's a lot of fear because right now, in 508, or some people call it accessibility, but basically there's a lot of fear because no one really knows exactly how these things are going to be and when they're going to be enforced. Um, so, like the legal consequences of getting on the wrong side of this sort of issue is terrifying. So, see, like now we got it, and then reload. Now we don't. Now we don't. Kill this. And another thing is like I feel like you could probably get away with ignoring this, like if you were in a professional environment right now, because one, it only seems to show up in dev. I think it probably only shows up in dev. You might want to, if you can, in some places you can't, but if you can, build it out as a fully distributed product and then try it out and see. Now, sometimes your distributed one won't work because of authentication issues and stuff like that. But like if you can, you can see if it shows up in that. But the problem is these things. Okay, so that time I rebuilt everything, and now the problem isn't there. So like even when you do get a fix, if you and you make the error go away, it's so un like you can't. It's very difficult to duplicate the issue, and like maybe if you do this, reload, kill the, and then you have these things that say they that are fixes, but yeah, so seems like maybe it only works the first time that you open the console. But see, then it works pretty consistently. Like it just keeps coming back. But now if you reload with the console open, yeah, now you don't have the issue. You do have some issues. And you know, maybe this is actually the true problem is that no, yeah, so it's frustrating. So it looks like we have kind of figured out how you can duplicate the issue. You just go like this. And if you, it's only seems to happen the first time you inspect, go to the console. And this time, so that was weird because we didn't even do it. All we did was do this, inspect, go to the console, go to the, so it might not even be related to the thing. So let's try this. Let's try getting rid of everything in the component. Not in the component, in the discrete settings component. So all we have is like hello world in here. And it might be because we don't have a button. You know, like this might be like, because in their examples, they always have buttons. Yeah, so let's go to their example, Angular material. And like I said, I don't, this is such a rare opportunity. That's probably the only reason I'm spending time on this, because I have run into problems like this before, where is it this one? Okay, so let's just grab out the buttons. Probably. Like maybe if you have this dialog actions, the problem goes away. And this would be very difficult for like the Angular material QA people to try to figure out. We'll get rid of this because we don't need this. Oh, see, it has a CD focus initial. I'm wondering if that is the mat dialog actions. So I don't have the mat dialog actions. So let's go to TypeScript and see which module. So import dialog module, button module. So is it, I wonder if it's upset because of the button module. So this is the open dialog. This is the, so let's try that. Yeah, this is such a rare opportunity to kind of deal with something like this. In such a simple environment that I just like I can't really pass up on the opportunity to learn this stuff. So do I already have? Yeah, so I had already imported it. So let's see if we are fixed over here. No, my mat dialog actions. So what this is telling me here is that it can't determine if this is like a web component that is like has nothing to do with Angular or anything like that, or if it's some other thing. think we're already pulling in mat dialog module, right? No, so we are not pulling in mat dialog module. And that's like another thing that sometimes you just get false, like the wrong error. Okay, so that one we are not pulling in. And that comes from Angular material dialog. Kind of is weird that the buttons was working, so let's just go ahead and pull both of these in. This is like, I wish we could just calmly build this stuff, you know, like, and know what we're doing, but we are definitely on the bleeding edge. Okay, so right now we do not have it. Click the button. We still have it. We don't have any buttons, which is weird. And I guess it's because I did not save. I do that all the time with the HTML. I forget to save it. Inspect. Console. Okay. Yeah, we still have the problem. But then if we refresh, we don't have the problem. And then if we go like this, inspect, console, kill this, bring it back up. Oh, we do. Oh, yeah, because anytime we create a brand new console, whatever code is suppressing. So what's happening, I think, is that like we hit this, and there's some code that's suppressing that error. And whatever code, because it's wrong, right? The error is just flat out wrong. This is behaving perfectly fine, but whatever code is suppressing that error is not running before if you start the console. Like, would be my guess. That's my stab in the dark. I just don't know what to do. Because I don't really want to walk away from it, but I feel like I've lost all sort of I feel like since we can do this and then click here and it's gone, that there's just some edge case there that is just not, like, it's giving it a false error. Because like I said, it is wrong. Now, let's go back, and we have made some changes for this. And I don't know if I want to keep them all. I don't think there was anything in here. What I'm searching for is anything that was specifically to deal with this bug. Yeah, I didn't think there would be anything in there. API indicator. Okay, I got rid of both of those changes because I thought they might be the problem. I do not think they are the problem. I do not think these should be hidden from area. Probably think they should have a description though. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. Because if I'm being completely honest, I'm not that worried about this being accessible. Because quite honestly, I just don't think, I think this is an internal tool for me. And that's it. Only for me. I don't think it's particularly useful as a tool. Like, I think that, like, the applications that I'd like to build off of this, probably, this sort of makes me think, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to have to kind of think of how. Because, like, okay, for example, I was thinking about this. What? Oh, wow. So we're back to the what not working. What? Okay, so it got 6 things, and then, see, like, that's not very usable. And then even this is not particularly useful because I think for like let's say a blind person is trying to figure that because it's literally going to be like, oh, the first value was what, and it was 74, and then the second value was what, and that was 74.9, and then the third value was what, and that was 74. That is of no value. What they would need is like a way that the reader would say WHAT 74.9%, WUT 74. You know, like with spellings, if that was going to be useful to somebody, you know, so like this application in general is not accessible. It's not like, but it isn't really an application for the public use. It's a tool for analysis, just to analyze the API. It does not. A. It's not a service or anything like that. It's nothing that I don't foresee anybody but me personally using. So you know, I don't think that you know it. So I'm not considering accessibility in this because I don't think it makes sense to consider accessibility. It is. I think it makes sense though to try to figure out what the F this is that's going on right now. Oh, and see, like, that's interesting. Blocked, hidden. Oh, okay, so. Okay, so now I am actually seeing this on these. Oh, man. Okay, so. Discrete. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one up here. Okay, so I do want these. So, okay, so I get the error just from tabbing around if area hidden is equal to true. So it's like it's telling me that this should be true. It's almost telling me that like, this should be true. Area hidden equals true. Like the whole piece of functionality should be true. This is very interesting, and like if this was a video about 508 compliance, this would be like an incredible application to work with. Okay, so now the problem is gone when I'm tabbing around. And then if I hit enter, oh, so it doesn't happen when you hit enter, which is how it would be accessed. So let's just try that again. Inspect. Because I feel like that is a very good argument for, hey, you know, like the way it's being used would only be used, like someone who's using this in an accessible way. Oh, look at that. This is back there. Okay, yeah, then we got that again. And now I have the area hidden equals true. Must not be hidden from us. So this is the opposite of what we saw a second ago, and I guess maybe it's because okay, so it's mad that I got in here because it's descendant retain focus. So I guess what it's saying is that you can't, so if I get rid of these, And this is like when you're trying to code for a problem you don't really understand. That is the basic problem here. It's like there is a problem and we don't understand the problem and I'm trying to write code to fix it. Okay, so it's happy, I think. So we're building a new one. Reload. And this all might be, now that I think about it, this may be a browser thing. Like there might have been a browser update because I don't really know when my browser gets updated. Um, okay, yeah, so it's upset. This is blocked area hidden on element. So this is saying, I think blocked area hidden on element. So it blocked. It said, no, I won't hide it. Because its descendant retained focus. So it's saying that its descendant. So it's saying that the descendant of this thing, which I believe is a child, that there's something in here, inside of this thing, right? Wait. Element with focus on that ancestor. Right. So it's saying this thing's ancestor with area hidden. So I think it might be saying that the div indicator up top has the focus right now. That this guy has the focus. Oh, and I guess it does make sense that this shouldn't get the focus because this should get the focus because this is text. So when you're tabbing through, there's absolutely no reason to hide this. And really, it would be stupid for it to come here anyway. So I guess what's happening, I think, like I said, I'm just freaking. I think what it's saying is that this shouldn't be focused because this doesn't say anything. So as somebody on a screen reader was working through this, like they would go, and really what should happen is this should get on focus, and then this should get on focus, and then this should get on focus. I think that's what it's saying. Is that as we focus, as we move through here, now maybe if I say, okay, so now I don't even know what I'm looking at because what is it? Okay, so area hidden equals true isn't. So and I apologize that this is not at all a tick it's false. And then I feel like I should have like alternate text. And like I'm kind of stuck working on this right here because I want to. Okay, so I did not have the bug, but this is useless to some person that it doesn't have the like is not accessible. So like I think there's like an area text. Described. So this like described by, I believe, tells you that is what the like another like you could have some other text that's sort of I believe hidden on the screen that has an ID, and you could give it the ID. Error message expanded flowed grabbed has pop label. Oh, and then say this browser does not have the speech recognition API. Does have.
All right, love you.
And so now the idea I believe would be that what would happen is for the text, so for someone who could not see, they would be able to tab in and then they would read what's happening. And then blocked area hidden on, so there was something, okay, so it's blocking an aria hidden. So it's saying, hey, something on here says area hidden, but it shouldn't. Oh, it's, let's see, console. Let's go back to here. Because I think so basically what this said was that the ancestor with the area hidden is the app root, which, you know, like yeah, does not seem like a good idea. And let's see. So if we look at sources, it is a bit frustrating because we're going to end up like just spending all our time on this, and this is just no fun at all, but it is super important. So this mat dialog is sitting inside of here. There's this overlay, and then app root happens to be a parent. Now I think there's a way that you can tell it to not be part of the parent. Like one of the choices in the API is, and maybe this would go away if she's calling, Gretchen's our dog, our German Shepherd, and she's calling her. See, there's attach here. Okay. Properties. I think the attach is the one I care about. And I think you can make it not part of the body. Or not part of the app root. Attach portal. Okay, so we're going to have to ask ChatGPT. This is... So, Angular material dialog. Is there a way so that the component, dialog component is not part of the app root. Now, in a big enterprise system, the problem is this could totally screw up all your styles. Um,
You ready? You ready?
Using the CDK's overlay to place the material dialog outside app reach. By default, the Angular material dialogs are appended to overlay. So what is it telling me to do?
We're talking.
Okay, so by default, material dialogs are already rendered outside app reach. Okay, so I'm using standalone.
Good boy. You power it up.
Is not attaching. And it is
Gretchen.
attaching
Gretchen.
boot, comma, not the body.
Look a body. Throw there.
Ah, okay. So apparently I'm not initializing the overlay. Okay. Modify your bootstrap. So apparently there's, oh, okay, provide overlay CDK in the bootstrap. I am so unfamiliar with this. And actually, like, I've been doing Angular long enough that like, it used to be that I would see anything to do with bootstrap and it would just scare the shit out of me. Now I'm like, oh, like, this is neat. I want to play around in here. Main.ts. And that is a big part over here. So in my bootstrap right now, I am not. See, it looks very much like this, but I need to do the provide overlay apparently.
Good boy.
This is news to me. And it would be very nice. App component.
Marty.
And then app config. And so apparently we did this a little bit differently. And I don't know what.
Marty.
So I have an app config file. And I did not set this up. This is how it came built. So it's a little bit different. Okay, so I have my main.ts file looks a little different because it has an app config import. Okay, so I need to add that to my, and that's what I was thinking. I would probably need to go on my app config and do this instead. And that, like, my friends, is why I believe, like, it's going to be impossible for at least the way things are now, unless there's some sort of ground changing type of thing for any kind of large language model that isn't specifically trained to your environment to ever be able to do work, because every place is unique. So like if you could train it to your specific environment, then you would probably be able to use it, but then it could easily get screwed up. Like if somebody screws it up on their training, and probably hiring people that know how to train and maintain maintain the training on a large language model so that it can generate code for you is probably gonna be a lot harder than just hiring people to generate code for you. But anyway, so let's go to our app config. And so like the way we have our app config, all this stuff is all the stuff that would normally have been that it was saying I should do in my main TS. Now I need to do in my app config. All right, so let's import this, and it's still upset that it doesn't. Okay, so I'm saying. Okay. So this is probably something that's only available inside of Angular. The Angular team probably only has access to this. We probably do not have access to this. Okay, Angular v17. What do I have? I have okay, so using Angular CDK 18.03. Okay. Let's hit Alt back. I'm pretty sure that's what it looks like. That is exactly what it looks like, but let's just try it again. Let's just paste it. Maybe I have a typo in there. I seriously doubt it, but okay, so yeah, it's not. It doesn't recognize it. So let's try this. And there's just no telling why this is out of sync with what my stuff is seeing. Okay, so I do not have the provide router providers. So they just have an empty provide router, and then providers. And I already have stuff in here like provide zone change detection. Oh, and then I have my provide router in here. So that's weird. And then I have this provide animation async. So that's fun. And now we'll try this. This is going to be the last thing I try, and then because I think I want, if this doesn't work, I don't really want to fix it this way, because I want to fix it this way, but I don't want to fix it. I would rather fix it this way. Yeah, that's bullshit. I want to fix it this way, but I would rather that be in its own commit, so that I have that to reference in the future. But I guess I have the video to reference. All right, so now who knows? Like, we are so down the rabbit hole of different bugs and different steps. I think this was only first of several steps to make all this work, but now it does not seem to want to load. Oh, but it's building. So let's see. Oh, I should have had the console. Okay, the problem is still there. Let's see if it's still part of. Yeah, it looks like it's still part of the app. So what I'm saying, just to be clear, is that I have, well, so here's the CDK overlay, and it isn't, okay, so it's no longer part of the app root, right? So this guy is not in. So this error that is saying, so it's saying that it's part of, so yeah, maybe that wasn't even it. Blocked area hidden on element. Oh, I think it might be complaining that this is one of these guys. Okay. Yeah, I want to undo that. I think that was useful. I'm glad I heard that. I definitely don't want to leave it in there because whenever I do, if I ever deal with this where I'm trying to fix this overlay issue, uh, I definitely want to do that in a standalone, unique thing, probably in a video that's just totally dedicated to that. But I think what it's saying is one of these guys, and it's probably this little monster has an area hidden in it. Yes, area hidden equals true on this mat icon. And so I think what it's saying is I needed to say that shouldn't be hidden. Somebody that is using an assistive technology should have access to this little cog, because how would they even use this application for that? Now, like I said, I'm not actually worried about trying to make I'm all for like making stuff accessible to people, but this is truly a standalone application that is just literally just for me. So I don't, and it's a full, like, just a development technology. So it's not like in any way, shape, or form going to be available. Like, it'll be probably available to the public if somebody wanted to use it, but it's not like, I don't know. This is hard. This is very difficult, because, okay, so you have people who need to be able to use this technology, who need to be able to use technology, and it's not through no fault, whatever the fault is or anything. Because of their disability, they should not be excluded from society. But this is a tool that's just for me, that just out of the the graciousness of my heart, I will make it available to anybody who wants it. It is available. You can download it, and it's all that is available to everybody's house. But anybody who wants it, and so like if somebody who wants to use this tool, but they don't have eyesight, it would be a bummer. But like, it's not really built to be something like that. So yeah, it's hard. I'm gonna have to, like, this is a problem that our whole industry is gonna hit in the next 2 to 10 years, and we're gonna have to work through this. But I'm way ahead of the. Why are you doing that? I love you too. This is a problem that, like, I'm so far ahead of the wave on this that it's like it's a upcoming war. Like, this tool may not even exist by the time that war happens, and then a lot more of new solutions will have presented themselves by then. So, anyways, yeah, that's just a lot to think through. But anyways, this little cog is, I think, area hidden, and I think what I should do is look for. And I do think that maybe the material team should not make. Why is it? Why is this cog showing as area hidden? Okay, so discrete component, and he does this. He has this little setting, and I'm not. And I do have an area label on that. And it says that I have area hidden set to true on this settings mat icon.
Go. Go, Larry. You ready?
Yeah, see, but I never set it to true, so that must be something that the component is doing. So area hidden, I think I want to make this area hidden false.
Right. Oh, let's go. Here.
See, oh, man, I just don't even know what to think of this. And I don't even know what's going to happen. I think it's what's going to happen is it's going to end up being like a double tab in there. That's weird.
Good boy. Oh, my good
Console
girl.
log. Reload. Kill this thing. Bring it back. So like the containing button is not area hidden. So they can still get to the button. They just won't, it won't say that there's a cog there. And I feel like that's the right behavior. Oh, I'm in the... Let's go to the console, and I guess we'll click this. Yeah, so we still have the problem. It's saying that the discrete one, which is the whole website, and that it's upset because this
Right.
has area hidden equals true on it. And basically what it's saying is that the focus is on this, right? It's saying, so, but the focus
I love you.
is no longer on this. So I think what's happening, and you know, just stab in the dark, but I think what's happening is that what's happening there is that this is a timing issue. I think what's happening is the focus is on this cog. Then this comes up. Then they do the overlay, and then this. Then this. Then the focus gets put on there. So in the time between when that focus moves from here to here, we get this error.
I love you.
And then that timing changes, right? So now if I hit refresh, and then I click on this, I don't have that issue because that timing is whatever order of things happen, that order has already come in. Like the order, it's there. So it might be that issue, which was that, like it may, since I do this, refresh, like it might be that well, I was going to say maybe that CD key, maybe that thing has to be built, like the ordering, but like it resolves itself. The issue resolves itself. And then like, so then the question is, my other question is if I hit refresh on this,
Oh, that rat.
inspect, console.
What?
Enter. Yeah, so even with the keyboard situation, but then if I hit and I can kill this and then come back, and I'll just see now I have two of them.
Rat.
It's only showing one, but now there's three of them. But then if I hit refresh and come here, I only have the one issue. So obviously this is not the problem. This, I don't think this is a good idea anyways. I think that So it's upset that the focus is taken off a matte icon. I think before the back gets hidden. So for a fraction of a second, the matte icon has focus before the dialogue even exists, and then it's throwing that error, and I don't know what we can do about that. Like whatever is happening, like maybe if we were to do that other solution where the where the focus is where the C where so like one thing we could do is if we took this whole thing out of the app root and all that, that would be like one workaround. I feel like this is going to work itself out though on its own. I don't think that this is a long-term issue. I think that eventually whatever that timing issues is, this definitely seems like a race condition. Whatever is messing up the timing, because it is upset that there's a button, that this button has the focus, but that the app root that it's part of is hidden. And because of that, because of the app root being hidden, it is upset that there's the focus, like that's going to screw up the screen reader. But if the screen reader is on here, I mean, but the problem is that it right afterwards it actually moves it over here, which is exactly what we want. So even if we did like defeat this this bug or this warning, if we said, oh, okay, now we're going to fix this warning by changing, we're going to fix this warning by forcing this thing to never be area hidden true. Like that was some of the solutions that it was providing yesterday. The problem with that is that we actually do want this to not be accessible to the screen reader. Like this is all that matters now, is what's in here, not what's back there. So I hope and I believe that whatever is happening here when I hit refresh and then this goes away, whatever is happening there sort of gets like that becomes the non, like that doesn't happen in I'd bet you it doesn't at all happen ever in production, but B, that it quits happening in this development situation when the console is brand new. That timing will get itself all worked out. Whatever that timing issue is definitely, I'm 99% sure that it's outside of our control completely, and that it's going to get resolved on its own. Now, if you are like in a enterprise situation and you run into this problem, trying to communicate that effectively up the line. And not only do you have to communicate that effectively up the line, but you have to communicate that effectively to your manager so that when your manager explains it, it doesn't sound insane to their boss. And then when their boss explains it, it doesn't sound insane to their boss. Because a QA person is going to be able to scare the hell out of everybody with this if they find this issue. This is terrifying for an organization, that they might get sued, might find themselves sitting in a courtroom with a person that is in just dire straits and they can't use the application. And the reason they're saying that they can't use this application is because here you see this. And this, I think, the Chicken Littles of the world, which I often find myself in that category, the Chicken Littles of the world can make a lot of hay out of this. and trying to calm everybody
Like
down.
a rat.
And then I could just be completely wrong. There could be something that I'm just missing here. But anyway, so yeah, wasted a whole freaking video on this, trying to figure this out. Didn't move forward even 1 inch. I do understand the area stuff a little better, but I think Rhett is sick of this subject. Definitely
Yeah,
will.
rat.
This is not leaving my brain. This is going to pop around in my brain for the next, until
Nerd.
it just goes away on its own. Like this will probably be the very first thing I'll check after 19.2 comes out and I do an upgrade. Hopefully this just disappears on its own. I think what I'm on 19 point. Am I on 19.0? I thought I was on 19.1. Oh, I am. So there is a 19.1. So maybe that is before I, once I get this working, I do a commit, I should upgrade. Maybe 19.2 will be out and see if we still have that issue. I think that is probably the smartest thing to do at this point. But anyways, yeah. 56 minutes of my life wasted on this. Happy coding, everybody. Bye.